What would the perfect snooker player actually look like? Not the greatest of all time, a player built by combining the very best traits from different professionals, because no one player has everything. Some players score heavier, some have perfect ball striking, some are mentally tougher, and some can win matches mentally before they've even started. So today I'm going to build the perfect snooker player by taking one skill at a time and choosing the player who does that part of the game better than anyone else. Breakbuilding. If we're talking pure breakbuilding, there really is only one place to start: Ronnie O'Sullivan. He has more centuries than anyone in history, but it's not just the numbers, it's how he scores. Ronnie doesn't just clear the table, he does it in a way that's artistry. He scores so quickly because of his speed around the table, natural talent, and the fact his cue ball is always so close to the next shot. He can take half chances and turn them into frame-winning visits. He scores in positions where other players would struggle to make 20, and when he's in full flow, the game looks effortless. No one has ever combined speed, touch and creativity in breakbuilding like Ronnie O'Sullivan. So for breakbuilding, Ronnie O'Sullivan is the man. Cue action. For cue action, my pick is Robertson. If you were teaching someone how to strike a snooker ball properly, this is the footage you'd show them. Robertson's cue action is straight, repeatable and technically flawless. There's almost no movement, no tension, just a smooth delivery every single time. That's why his long potting is so consistent and why he can play such powerful shots without ever looking like he's forcing them. For pure technique, Robertson's cue action is about as good as snooker has ever seen. Cue power. When it comes to cue power, this one is Judd Trump. And not brute force, controlled power. Trump can screw the cue ball around 3 cushions, open packs from awkward angles, and still land perfectly on the next shot. What separates him is how easy it looks. He doesn't look like he's hitting the ball hard, yet the white just explodes around the table. That cue power has completely changed modern snooker, allowing attacking shots that simply weren't available to players years ago. So for cue power, the perfect player takes Judd Trump's. Long potting. For long potting, I'm going back to Robertson. Statistically, he's been one of the best long potters of the modern era, and visually he might be the cleanest striker of a long pot we've ever seen. His cue action plays a huge role in this. There's no jabbing, no cueing across balls, just a pure strike straight through the cue ball. From distance, Robertson makes difficult long pots look routine, especially when he's in flow. Others might argue Shaun Murphy or Mark Williams here, and that's fair, but for me, Robertson's long potting is cleaner, purer and more repeatable. Rest play. Personally, I don't think rest play matters as much as people say it does, but it's obviously somewhat important. So for rest play, my choice is Shaun Murphy. Some players look uncomfortable when the rest comes out. Murphy doesn't. He's confident cueing through it, comfortable taking on attacking shots with the rest, and rarely looks awkward even in stretch positions. Technically, he's one of the best players we've ever seen when using the rest, and that's a huge asset over long matches. So the perfect snooker player takes Shaun Murphy's rest play. But before we go any further, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you who watched my last video. You've taken me over 2,500 subscribers now. I want to continue growing and building this snooker community, so if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for a bombshell of an update coming soon. Safety play. For safety play, this one is obvious, it's Mark Selby. Selby looked at the tactical games of Steve Davis and John Higgins and took it one step further. His shot selection, patience and understanding of angles is elite. He knows when to slow the game down and he knows when to apply pressure, and he's willing to grind if that's what the match requires. There are players who can pot better than Selby, but there are very few that can outthink him. So for safety play, the perfect player takes Mark Selby's. Laying and escaping snookers. And staying with Selby, laying and getting out of snookers. This might be his greatest strength. His ability to place the cue ball into awkward areas is unbelievable, and when he's in trouble himself, his escape success rate is among the best we've ever seen. Selby forces mistakes, he makes opponents uncomfortable, and mentally that's exhausting to play against. So again, for snookers, the perfect player takes Mark Selby's. Temperament. Temperament is different from plain mentality. It's about staying calm, staying relaxed, and not panicking when things go wrong. And for that, I'm choosing Mark Williams. Williams rarely looks stressed at the table, and you'll never know if he's winning or losing. He doesn't overthink, he doesn't rush, and he doesn't get dragged into emotional battles. Even in the big moments, he plays with freedom, which is incredibly difficult to do. And that calmness is a massive reason why he's been able to win world titles and big tournaments across different eras. So for temperament, the perfect player takes Mark Mark Williams's. Big game personality. Now this is different again. This isn't about raw temperament, it's about presence, big game personality. And there is only one answer for me, and it's Ronnie O'Sullivan. At the Crucible especially, Ronnie has an aura that very few people in any sport have ever had. Opponents know that at any moment he can produce a session that completely ends the match. We've seen him turn a 4-4 into 12-4. He's had sessions there where he's ripped apart Hendry, Higgins, Williams and Robertson, and he's been able to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Trump and Selby. When the pressure is highest, Ronnie doesn't shrink, he grows in stature. So for big game personality, the perfect snooker player takes Ronnie's. All-rounder. Finally, the all-rounder, the player with no obvious weakness. For me, that is John Higgins. Higgins can score heavily, he can play tactically, he can handle pressure, and he can adapt to any opponent. Whether the match is scrappy or free-flowing, he finds a way. He might not be the very best in every individual category, but he's very good or elite in all of them. If you were designing the perfect snooker brain, it would look a lot like John Higgins. So that's my perfect snooker player. Ronnie's scoring and big game aura, combined with Robertson's technique and long potting, Trump's cue power, Murphy's rest play, Selby's tactical mastery, Williams' temperament, and Higgins' all-round brilliance. But that's just my version. Let me know in the comments, what would your perfect snooker player look like?